Italian football has survived match-fixing scandals, corruption investigations, and even entire clubs being relegated for cheating. But what's happening right now might be worse than all of that combined. We're not talking about players throwing games or refs taking bribes. This time, it's the Italian Football Federation itself that's accused of rigging the system to save one of the country's biggest clubs from humiliation. Picture this. You're watching the final day of the season. The math is simple. Brescia finishes with 43 points, safe from relegation. Sampdoria, a club that's never been relegated to Italy's third division, Serie C, in their entire history, finishes with 41 points. They're going down. Case closed, right? Later that week, everything changes with one announcement that has Italian football in absolute chaos. After celebrating their survival, after the season was officially over, Brescia gets hit with a bombshell. The Italian Football Federation announces that they're investigating Brescia for financial violations that happened back in February and April. Yet nobody, and I mean nobody, heard about this investigation until after the final whistle of the season. Now, if you followed Italian football, you know this feels familiar. Remember Calciopoli? Juventus got stripped of titles and relegated for match fixing? But at least that investigation was public, transparent, and happened in real time. This feels like something out of a conspiracy thriller. Let's talk about what's really at stake here. Sampdoria isn't just any club. They're football royalty. Serie A champions, Coppa Italia winners, European Cup finalists. Their fans are legendary. Their history is untouchable. The idea of them playing in Serie C, it's like watching Real Madrid in the third division. It doesn't compute. Then there's Brescia, Roberto Baggio and Andrea Pirlo's old club. A team with genuine history. They fought all season, secured 43 points, and celebrated staying up. Their president, Massimo Cellino, thought the hard work was done. However, he learned that in Italian football, the season doesn't end when the final whistle blows, apparently. Here's what we know. In February of 2025, Brescia apparently missed deadlines to pay taxes and social security contributions. The Italian Football Federation is proposing a 4-point deduction, 2 points for each violation. To be completely honest with you, I have no idea how if you're late on your tax bill, it equates losing a win and a draw, but that's above my pay grade, baby. Here's the kicker that has everyone screaming conspiracy. These violations were supposedly known months ago, investigated in secret, and announced only after Sampdoria's relegation was confirmed. Do the math with me. Brescia's 43 points minus 4 equals 39 points. Sampdoria suddenly has a lifeline with 41 points because now that would put them into the relegation playoff spot, giving them a chance to win their safety. Brescia's fighting back hard. Cellino claims they were victims of fraud, that a company sold them bogus tax credits that looked legitimate until the Italian Revenue Agency rejected them. Yet, the timing of this revelation has everyone asking the same question. Is this justice, or is this a cover-up? Imagine if the NBA waited until after the playoffs to announce that a team that missed the postseason was actually disqualified for salary cap violations that happened months earlier. But instead of just punishing that team, they gave their playoff spot to a more popular franchise. That's essentially what's happening here. The FIGC's response? They're talking about expanding Serie B to 22 teams next season to account for the delay. But that makes zero sense. If Brescia's in the wrong here, why wouldn't Italian football do what every other governing body in the world would do and delay the punishment until the next season if it's not proven? It doesn't make any sense to force this punishment unless there was some ulterior motive. Also, to make Serie B 22 teams because of the delay of this investigation is absolutely insane. It just proves that they're trying to save multiple teams. It doesn't make any sense why you would award other teams who were bad during the season because Brescia had a potential financial irregularity 3 months ago that was never announced until after the season. If Brescia broke the rules, They should face the consequences. But how can we do that after the final whistle is blown of the season? Also, expanding the league to 22 teams makes the league way harder for everyone else. The National Federal Court hears Brescia's case on May 29th, 2025. So by the time this video is out, this will have already happened. If they lose, Sampdoria is potentially saved. If they win, this whole scandal becomes an embarrassing footnote. However, if Brescia appeal a guilty verdict, this chaos could drag on for months, leaving everyone in limbo. This is potentially an insult to the integrity of football governance everywhere. When federations can investigate violations in secret, announce punishments after seasons end, and directly benefit certain clubs, yet claim they're just enforcing rules, that's when football stops being a sport and starts being theater. I've covered Serie C in my video about the hardest professional sports league to escape, and I can tell you, relegation to that division destroys clubs. Look at Pro Vercelli. It's financial death. It's competitive purgatory. But saving clubs from that fate through backdoor dealings? That might be worse than relegation itself. It actually definitely is. Look, I love Italian football. I've managed virtual clubs through their divisions. I've celebrated with Pisa fans. I've felt the passion that makes Serie A special. But this scandal makes me question everything. When the rules change after the game ends, when investigations happen in the shadows, when punishments perfectly align with saving face for big clubs, that's not football anymore. Brescia may genuinely be guilty of financial violations. However, the way this has been handled, the secrecy, the timing, the convenient outcome, it stinks. So here's my question for you. Is this Italian football cleaning house? Or is this the biggest cover-up in the sport's history? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. If you're as fired up about this football corruption as I am, please smash that like button and subscribe. And please share this because maybe I can make a difference. I don't know. Italian football has survived a ton of scandals, but it's never faced a scandal quite like this one. I hope something changes. Thank you for watching.